Hello, everybody, from wherever you're listening to. This is another podcast of Alice Mike's podcast. This is Al. We're going to be talking about past weekend. Had some stuff that went on over last weekend. I'd like to share with everybody. Wants to listen to. Start off with let's just hope everybody had a great weekend. Weather here in the Central Coast of California was nice, a little cold, but it was nice. It's too bad. Definitely got windy after 12, after noon. Definitely put a jacket on, put a sweater on, but it was good. Yeah, I think we're spoiled over here in the California Central Coast with the weather. You know, it's nice and sunny and it's 60 degrees, and we think it's cold. Yeah, some other places that's a warm day, so yeah, we're quite spoiled, but not too bad. Well, going from there, we're gonna talk about I'm gonna talk about Friday, the 19th. I believe it was 19th. Yes, Courtney, which is my dad. If you listen to other podcasts, you heard him tell his stories and series of interviews I'm doing with him. Decided to make some fish tacos and tacos de camarón, shrimp tacos as well. He breaded them, breading, and mom made some pico de gallo, quite good. Then I made a little like a, I think, what you call it, like a spicy mayo sauce, or this like mayo sauce. They if you ever had shrimp tacos or shrimp or fish tacos, they kind of drizzle it on top of the pico de gallo salsa. So I took care of that. The funny thing is that I used I'll say a lazy recipe. The proper way to do it is, you get chile chipotle. Of course, you put mayo. Put some garlic in there. Some, little hints of lemon juice, some lemon zest if you want. You put some salt, some black pepper. Give it a little seasoning or so. But one time I was in a hurry, and I decided to, let's Google, maybe that's, not Google, but YouTube recipe. Because I didn't have those ingredients. And I saw one where this guy, he used Frank's hot sauce, which is made for, hot wings. So what I did was, the guy he got mayo, put some of the sauce in there, add some lemon juice, and mixed it up. I was like, you know what? I'll give it a try. And it's not bad. I mean, it's the one where you mix the chipotle and the other one. It's definitely better. Yes, but if you're in a pickle and you have some Frank's hot sauce, or just get it. I mean, a lot of people just like to have the hot sauce just to have it. It does the job. Of course, I add a little bit of salt, a little pepper, and then you mix the ingredients until it's onto your liking. You add a little more of the hot sauce, or you add a little bit more mayo, or however you want to do it. You want to put more lemon to it, so it's a little bit more watery, or not as much, so it's more solid or so. But yes, I did that. It had a great time. We had most of the family was here, just having a great time. Eating tacos and hanging out, and just talking, sharing stories, updating on what everybody's got going on. And my my oldest nephew and niece went to Dutch Brothers, and man, I've been wanting to go here. They just opened one here, but the line is huge all the time. Not a big fan of waiting, especially for a coffee or a drink. Like, it's a little ridiculous. But they were gonna go, and I didn't have to wait, so I was like, yeah, bring something from there. The only drink I've tried from there is this horchata drink, and it's pretty good. Definitely enjoy it. Then they brought donuts as well. You can never say no to donuts. There was like the local donuts from the local shop. That's what I prefer. Rather have those than like Krispy Kremes or any. I mean, hey, I'm not gonna turn down Krispy Kreme donuts, but I prefer the local donuts. The style. I just prefer them, and I think they're better. So yeah, I mean it was fun. With family Friday night. Shout out to Corny. Those tacos and shrimp were really good. So I was hanging out here at the house, and he texts me. He's like, "Hey Ben, Alvaro Ben." So I go outside, and he's got his setup. He's frying the fish and the shrimp outside, and I know he wanted me to go taste it. See how the breading was, see how the seasoning, if he need anything. So I go out there, and he's in the backyard, and he's got his table set up, he's got everything all set up, and as soon as I step outside, it starts sprinkling. And then my dad's like, Courtney's like, "Hey, try it." And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna try it later. Let's get you, under the roof or under the porch, because all these little setup here is not gonna work out. So there we are, trying to move. His little table. We had to move the propane tank. We had to move the the little frying station he had going on in a hurry, because it did not start raining hard, but it started raining when everybody had checked the cell phones, and there was, I believe, it went down to 11 or 10% chance of rain. Yeah, that didn't work out. So there we are, moving everything not inside, to our back porch, because it was raining. First, I got called to taste test, and then I was next thing I know, I was getting all wet, trying to move everything for the greater good of the food. Man, sometimes you just can't rely on technology. It literally said 10 to 11% it was gonna rain. It was not the first time, and I guess it won't be the last time. So yeah, that was Friday. And then, that Friday, my niece and nephew, they said they wanted to go on a walk on the riverbed, and that we should go. And I was like, all right, let's do it. We'll do it Saturday morning. At first, I told them at 8. I really thought about it, and I'm like, no, let's move it to 9 a.m. We'll start it off, and we'll go. Then I found out I was volunteered by someone. I thought it was their idea. Like, oh yeah, let's invite our uncle. No, I got volunteered into doing it, and then they asked me, and well, I was like, it'll be fun. A hard time saying no to them. So yeah, so Saturday morning we go. Wake up. We were gonna go the round trip that we were planning on doing. It was the riverbed walk. It's like 3.2 miles one way. So round trip, so what, 6.4? So not a bad little walk outside. But definitely do it early before the wind starts. So I go pick him up. I own a coupe. a silver coupe, and back when they were little, I mean, yeah, they both fit perfectly well, my niece and my nephew. But now they're 16, gonna turn 17 this year, and man, I think they're both over 6 feet tall. So yeah, definitely not. My car's not made for tall people. I mean, it's made for the two front passengers to be tall. Oh, I mean, I drive drive that car really comfortably. I can be in the passenger side really comfortably, not in the back. But I'm not looking to be a passenger in the back of my car. So I took this. We have this 1990 Chevy Silverado, blue Silverado, which is, I mean, outside it's a little beat up. It's not a beautiful truck to see. But I have a lot of good memories with it. Everybody that knows us or our family, it's been a staple. My dad bought it when it was brand new, long time ago. He says it's my twin. I was born in February, and I believe he says he took it out, bought it in May. So I decided to take the truck. We'll fit more comfortably. Well, I picked them up, and both of them decided to sit in the front seat. It's just a bench seat, so all three of them are squished, even though there is seats in the back. Either way, the ride wasn't too far. So once we get to the parking lot, here we go, and I have this backpack that you could put water in it. Not water in it, but it holds I believe 2 liters of water. And I just hate carrying a water bottle. After a long walk, it's like, or a hike, it's just, I don't know, it's annoying. You're switching bottle. You're switching hands every time you're walking. Left hand, right hand, and then it's just. Then the noise it makes. If you using a, plastic bottle, or it's just this backpack just. It's better. Then I can put my stuff in there. Keys, wallet, stuff like that, and not to worry about my shorts being pulled down or so, or not pulled down, but weighted down. And then now, because of all that stuff, not that stuff going on, but the COVID and all that. So face mask in there, some hand sanitizer, just in case. So there we go in the walk, and I mean, it was weather was nice. Unfortunately, we had a little time limit. We had to get back. I had to return my niece had to get back home by a certain time. So we got like a little bit over 3/4 of the way, one way. So we had to head back. So then heading back, we encountered one of my aunts and uncles. So it was nice seeing them. Saw mi tia Chabela, mi tío Gil. They live close by, but I had seen them from far away, and I was like, I wonder if it's them. And yeah, it was them. Good seeing them, saying hi, and good to see them staying active. But then on the way back, we were just a little bit more tired, so we weren't as fast. So then I look at the clock. We're like, oh, guys, we got to speed this up. It's taking forever. Not taking forever, but it's just we got to speed it up. If not, we're not going to get back in time. So I had to force myself to get a second wind. Yeah, I posted a picture on Instagram on our page, the Alice Mike podcast face Instagram page of the little walk we took. It's always good talking to the younger generation. I mean, you learn so much, and the thing that I've noticed is not that I just noticed, but reflect on is that the standpoint of an adult, well, let's say as an adult, when you're giving out advice to younger generation, or when they're seeking advice, make sure that you word your advice correctly. I like to get the perspective of the younger generation and topics and what they think about world events, and see what they're thinking about and what they what's influencing them, and make, not, I don't want to say make sure, but that they have their open mind on seeing both sides of an argument. It's really for them to become critical thinkers. I remember when I was I think when I was their, yeah, definitely when I was their age, I was a little, I could say I was much more closed-minded. It was my way or the highway. And you learn later on that doesn't work. I mean, it works in some stuff, but it's always good to have an open mind. So it's something that every time I talk to them, especially now that next year they're gonna go into their senior year. A lot of things hold, a lot of questions about the future, a lot of things about conversations about, they're undecided what to do. Right after high school, I didn't go to college. I spent 7 years until I went back to college. I definitely tell them not to follow my model. Definitely not follow it. But I do tell them that by the time I went back to college, or not back, went to college, my mindset was different than it would have been right after high school. Not that you're paying for it. Not that I would have not known that I was paying for it, but I knew the value. Not the value, but I definitely had a much more understanding of debt and not wasting your one's time. So in the classes when I was started, I went to Santa Barbara Business College for criminal justice. I would see other classmates that they were definitely younger, right at high school, at least, or 1 year out of high school, 2 years out of high school, and they would slack off, didn't do their homework, didn't do the stuff, didn't take it seriously, and not that I wanted to coach them or I didn't want to show the example, but I definitely saw myself in them when I was that age. I took responsibility, and and did what I had to do, and to accomplish. Because if I failed the class, I didn't want to pay for it. I don't think anybody wants to pay for it. So when when they seek my advice about college and stuff like that, I tell them, just enroll. Try to get 10 applications everywhere. Apply to as many scholarships as you can. And really, you don't have to decide, where you're going to be. I mean, for the first 2 years, I mean, they're going to be just taking general ed classes anyways. Not to bashing community college. Community college is a great tool. It's definitely cheaper, but people tend to get stuck in community college, and I've heard that from a lot of people. So I I tell them, if you have the option of going somewhere else, going to a CSU or UC or you know type of college, go for it. And of course, they're asking their uncle, what, for advice and stuff like that, and I always try to be as honest as I can, and tell them that everything's not, what is it? Not everything is roses and cakes and cookies, and not everything's easy. Not at all. But putting your mind in it, having goals, striving to be the best that one could be, and hitting that goal that you're striving to get is essential for success. Sometimes I wish I could follow my own advice, huh? It's easier to give it than to follow it, right? The thing is to not forget and just keep on chucking along. All right, so yeah, the riverbed walk was good. It was fun. I knew I was gonna be hurting. Um, but it's a good pain. Reminds you, hey, you got to do it more. The more you do it, the less painful it comes. All right, so later on, so I went to get ready. Picked up the girlfriend, and went on a Costco run. And as soon as we walk in, she says, "Hey, we should play a game." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Let's not spend less than $200 or what?" Because I was talking to my nephew, and I'm like, "Hey," he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to Costco." And I told him, not hopefully, but every time I go to Costco, somehow I spend $200. Somehow, just one thing adds to another, and bam, $200. What did I bring? There's $200 right there. So there we go, Costco run. But back to she's like, "Hey, let's play a game." I'm like, "All right, I'm game. Let's play." And she says, "Let's see what shopping carts. Let's see the shopping carts, and if they're stimulus, if they are stimulus check carts." I'm like, "All right, that sounds fun." And as soon as you walk in Costco, what the TVs are there, and there's this gentleman. And he has a flat cart. And a flat cart, he already has a small Santa Maria style barbecue grill. And he's loading up a TV to his cart. I'm like, that is a perfect example of a stimulus cart. Hey, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just funny. As soon as she said it, I'm like, "Look, there's one right there." And then as soon as we walk back to where they have the outdoor patio, then we saw the people buying patio sets. I'm like, "Oh, well, that's a couple using the stimulus check to get some patio furniture." Hey, maybe it's not what it is. No, maybe it's not. It's just because of the stimulus check, but I think definitely this weekend that just passed, we'll say there was a little boom in the economy. And just an alert, I did not spend $200. We were actually quite surprised when Costco, and it was less than expected. Yes. Just got the necessities, really. I mean, I still went and browse around, and I didn't say, you know, I wasn't specifically looking for something, but we definitely browsed. But not that I want to spend my stimulus check. All my stimulus check is going to my student loan. So whatever I got back in, I'm like, oh, you could just return it back to center, because there you go. So that was a Costco run. In and out. Yeah, then we went to this to dinner. We went to get some tacos at Su Mesa. Tacos al pastor. I was craving al pastor, so we're good. Definitely good. But on Saturday night, around 11 o'clock, I was leaving my house, gonna drop off my girlfriend, and in the neighborhood, I saw this car that got out, was driving in. Well, two cars were driving in front of me. One was an SUV, one was a truck, and they're it looked like one of the situations where the driver of the first car, which is an SUV, was being followed by the truck because, let's just say, the SUV person was possibly a little impaired or drunk, or it just. So I try to stay away. Not that I try to stay away, but I was driving. I couldn't really get away from them, and but there's not really proof of that they were drunk or so. It's just my perception. They were swerving a little bit, but not too bad. We got to a point where there was actually a cop on the street, checking. The cop didn't pull him over, so I went to drop her off, and on my way back, I'm driving, and then got to a point where I was at a red light, and I see these lights just I see lights behind me coming, approaching me at a really fast rate. I mean, they were hauling. I was gonna say some other word, but they were going fast. The speed limit's 40 on that road, and man, to catch me up in that rate of speed, they were at least going 65, 70. But I think so. I saw those lights coming up that fast, and I was still red light, and I just kind of just braced for the impact. Thankfully, it turned green, so I accelerated, and the SUV that was behind those were the lights that came approaching me really fast. Moved to the other lane. But I mean, I think if the green, if it wouldn't have turned green, they would have hit me. Definitely would have hit me. So they turned to the other lane, and then I see that it's the same SUV that was going the other way when I was going to drop her off. When I was dropping her off, and it's the same SUV. And now this person is swerving all over the road. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let this person injure somebody or anything happen to, So I, called 911, and I was reported the vehicle. But then it turns out that it turns into my neighborhood, and it parks close by. Probably like 6 houses down. I'm still on the line with 911, and I'm just telling them, look, they got to their house or wherever they're visiting, whatever they got to there. This person is definitely no condition to drive. Do you have a license plate? They ask me all this stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I don't have no license plate. I don't know if the person's got, if they got out of the car or not. But, at the point of the moment when person who was driving should not be on the road. And hopefully, they did not go out and drive again. They stayed there or whatever happened, and definitely, I would say, scary situation because you don't want to cause anybody hardships, because I know getting DUIs, getting a hardship, stuff like that, but the consequences that you see when a person, injures or hits somebody, or because they're drunk or they're impaired, it's just it's unexcusable. But looks like the car was there in the morning, so it didn't move. It's good. So hopefully that person didn't, nothing happened. So, but yeah, I mean, it was a little scary when I thought, no, there goes my car. I mean, yeah, if I would get hit, my little car would have been totaled. So it wasn't. That's a good thing. And yeah, so that was a Saturday night. Then then for Sunday, my oldest nephew, he's learning how to play a bass guitar, and so actually because he's a conjunto norteño that he's been setting up together with his buddies. So him playing bass. He got two guys playing guitar. I believe one's a 12-string, the other one's a 6-string chord player, and then my other nephew, he's 12. He's playing drums. So I go to their practice to, hang out, kind of give my advice, and try to help them out. And they're, they're slowly but surely, they're getting better. Their music is not easy. And then everybody, there's people that are naturally gifted. I'm not saying because they're my nephews, but you could say they're definitely naturally gifted. Music just comes easier to them. At least keeping the beat. Again, everybody. Some people have to work harder for some things, and it is what it is. But a great example of, or more like a life lesson that I witnessed was one of the guitar players. He does vocals and plays guitar, which it's not easy. Playing an instrument and singing at the same time. I tried singing and playing drums, and no, not happening. I mean, for my excuse to have much more moving parts, I mean, I'm moving my feet, my arms, but either way, not an easy task. So that guy was, I won't say he was messing up, but he was having a hard time. And they told him, oh yeah, you have to play this one perfect. They were testing him, and we just say he got a little mad. Not and I won't say aggressive, but a little mad. And he's like, oh, let's just do it. Let's play the song. And it's they're gonna play Se le peló Baltasar. So there they go. It's one of those occasions where somebody was put up against the wall. The either it's one of those, either you're gonna shine or you're gonna crumble. I'll tell you what, this kid, he shined. He stepped up. He played this. I wouldn't say he played it perfectly, but if I would grade him, I'd give him, like an 88 or 89%, almost an A, 90. And he stepped up and he showed him, look, This will, I could get this done. And it was just a great feeling. I remember when they finished the song, I was like, yes, finally. They've been playing that song so many times, and they started and they finished it, and on beat. The change of chords, the tonos. I mean, it was. I was proud of them, proud of all of them, but more proud of the guitar player. But as a life lesson, goes to show you that that human trait that sometimes the best of us comes out where we're against the wall. We have to do it. Or with the deadlines coming up, the last minute. And it shouldn't be that way. We should be able to focus and accomplish those goals without having our backs turned against the wall. I know it's easier said than done. I'm not trying to say I lead by example. Be truthful, guys. I mean, everybody. But it's definitely a reflection that when you see it, not a reflection, but when you see it, somebody accomplish their goals that way, it definitely makes you, I wouldn't say it makes you think, but it's makes you see the goals that you have, that you haven't accomplished or that you haven't done, or any projects that you might be going on that just, you've been putting off a little bit to the side to finish it or complete it or make it better, or to not wait until you have to do it. I guess at the end is, it's don't procrastinate. Oh, I'm a big procrastinator. Trying to get rid of it. Yeah, I guess at the end is whatever goals and whatever you want to accomplish, just go ahead and just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. Yeah, then later on, my girlfriend made some really good frijoles puercos. Got some even to take home. I wish they would have survived the night, but they didn't. People don't know what frijoles puercos is, or was it pork beans? It's called pork beans, but it's beans with chorizo. Some good beans. Yeah, but that was my weekend. I want to share with everybody, what my weekend consisted of, and hopefully I didn't distract you. Took you a little journey on this podcast. Again, I'm probably always going to repeat. Don't forget to like and follow Alice Mike's podcast on Facebook and Instagram. And I'll update everybody on new episodes and stuff that's going on, and and I really appreciate if you share it as well. Share it with friends and family. If not, well, thanks for listening. This podcast has been encouraged by Smart Step Insurance Services, CA Truck Lines, Herrera Trucking, and Unique Janitorial. Thank you for all the encouragement. My YouTube page, same name, Alice Mike's Podcast. I have the podcast there as well, and I got videos. If you're a family member, you'll recognize some people. You might see my brother playing there some instruments. See me in the background. Some of the videos. This week I got Courtney's hunting stories coming out. So another conversation with Corny. That's right now my most popular podcast. So I have some of that, and we're gonna have more topics to go around. Hopefully on Friday I have another music review Friday. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that podcast on my reviews and my little rants about music. There'll be many more of new music, the regional mexicano. So just want to say thank you everybody for listening. Have a good one. Yeah, have a good one, and take care. Have a great week. Like I said some other times, on the day, don't forget to smile. Yeah, don't forget to smile. If nobody smiles back, then get in front of the mirror and smile. At least you'll be smiling back at yourself. Right? Stay positive. Have a good one. Take care, everybody. Again, don't forget to follow and like Alice Mike's podcast on YouTube. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Alice Mike's podcast. Follow and share. Like, comment. If you have any comments, please, hey, I want to hear from everybody that's listening. Feedback. And have a good one, and take care.